So this is the very basics of how we draw the line. Now let's look at how we can do the line in more um, I would say the precise drawing. As I said, usually mm, when we do the drawing, uh, specifically in any CAD software, we want to have a very precise drawing. So all the lengths and angle we want to be exactly the way we want. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So again, select, I just Control A to select everything and press delete to delete the entire canvas. Um, so before I start to do that, I want you to come here on the status bar, right on the very corner here, the right lower corner, that you have these three horizontal bar, and it has the customization. It says custom. If you click on that, um, come up here, and there is a option that calls the dynamic input. We can't just by clicking on that, it's gonna be, right now it's hide because there is no check mark next to that. If I click on that, it's gonna make it on hide, and it's gonna be shown on the status bar. So I'll click on that, and you'll see it's gonna be shown down here, and says dynamic input is on. Just click on that, so it's gonna be shown here, and if it is not on, just turn it on. If it's off, you just can click on that. So if you click on that, it's going to be turned off right now, and if I click on that again, it's going to be turned on. So make sure it's on. By default, I think when you install the AutoCAD, the dynamic input is going to be on, but if it is not on, turn it on, and I would suggest that to keep it always on. Again, one more time, remember that you just by checking here or unchecking here, you just hide or unhide the icon here. It's not going to turn on or turn off any feature. It's just hide it or hide it. You have to turn it on or turn it off here. So I'm going to hide it, that dynamic input, because I always use it and I don't want to turn it off. So I'm going to just uncheck it on and hide it. But make sure yours is on. So now that our dynamic input is on, and I know my dynamic input is on, I'm gonna to show you how to draw the line in a precise fashion. So again, I want to start the line and then click the line, and it tells me specify the first point. So if you look at that, next to my cursor, there are two specify first point, and then there are two numbers next to that, and those numbers are the X and Y for the start point. So if you look at it, I move my cursor, those numbers change. So basically the X and Y of my first point is going to change. Assume I want to start my first point from the origin, from the 0 and 0. So I type 0. So the first number is going to change to 0. After I type 0, I'm going to press tab on the keyboard. So when I press tab on the keyboard, you see the X is going to be fixed at 0. So the X of the first point is going to be 0 and it's locked. The lock sign comes next to that. And then it's asked me for the Y of the first point. And also I want that to be 0. So I type 0 and I press enter. When I press enter, it means that 0, 0 is going to be my first point. So I press 0, and you can see it here, but it's going to be at so you can see now. So look at that. So my first point is going to be at 0, 0. Now assume I want to draw the line for so I'm going to just zoom in, and then I want to specify the second point. Now look at that, it will ask me, if you look at that, it's asked for the length of the line I want to draw. So what's the length of the line I want to draw? Assume the length I want to draw is 100 units, whatever units I'm using. So I'm gonna just type 100 in that. So it's gonna be the length of my line. And then I can press tab. If I press tab, now it's as you will see the length of my line. So let me zoom out a little bit. So you see the length of my line is 100. So I cannot change the length. The length is 100, but I can move it and put it there. Now it's asking me at what angle do you want to draw that line, and assume I want to draw the horizontal line, so I bring it here on 0, and I can press enter, or assume I want to do it at 45 degrees. So first let's do it as 0. So I click, so you see it's the angle is 0, and now I press enter, and then my line is there, and then I press enter again, and then if I zoom in a little bit, this is going to be my line. So it's a start from the 0 0, and it has a length of 100, and it's as you can see, it's horizontally drawn. So now assume now I want to draw that line, for example, with any given angle. So let me delete that line and start another line. So this time again, I want to start from 0 0, so I'm going to type 0 tab 0 and press enter, and assume this time I want to draw it with 25 degrees and the length of 100. So again, I enter 100 in the length and press tab, and for the angle I put in 25, and then enter and enter again, and then now I have the line that you can see that the length is 100 and the angle is 25 degrees compared to the horizontal one. So I can draw like that any line that I want to draw. Assume I want to draw the second line from the end of the first line, so it's the very same thing. So I can come here and click at the end of the first line. It will snap into that, and then again the same thing. I can enter the length and angle. For example, again, assume I want the length of 20 with angle of 10, and enter, and it's going to draw it, and press enter again. So draw the second line from that point. One other thing I want to mention is that, again, assume I want to start from the line from 0 0. So I put the 0 here, so let's put, I want to start from 0 0, or and I by mistake I put 10 here, and I go there and I put 0 here, and now it's gonna start from 10 and 0, but I want to start from 0 0. If I press the tab again, it goes back to the first one. If I just press the tab, if I keep press the tab, it's gonna be switching between these two numbers. So if you enter the number and then later you find out, okay, that was the wrong number, you want to fix it, you just keep pressing the tab until it goes to the value you want to update. So I'm gonna, for example, again put it 0 here, and then again 0 here. So you can keep pressing the tab until you fix all the number in a way that you want, and then press enter. And then here the same here, assume I want to be 100, the length be 100, and the angle be 35, and then I will find, okay, probably I made a mistake. So if I keep press the tab, it will switch between these two numbers. So I can go there and, for example, change that to 50 before I press the enter, and then it's gonna draw the line with the length of 50 and the 35 degrees angle. This is another way of that you can fix it. So before you press the enter, if you keep pressing the tab, it will let you to update the numbers that you have. One other thing about the line I want to mention is that what the angle is that just if you start to draw the line and it's 0 0 and assume it's going to be 100, then start the line from 0 0 and then 50, and comes to the angle. Look at here, if I come here to the 0 and I move up, the angle is gonna go all the way from 0 to 180. So um, let me zoom a little. So if I move, the angle keep changing. You can see it goes from 0 to 180. The thing is that if I go down, it's gonna be the same. So it still is gonna start from 0 to 180. So always when you're working with AutoCAD, you're gonna put the angle between 0 and 180, depend on you're rotating, for example, here counterclockwise or you're rotating clockwise. Um, uh, depend on what you do. So if I want to have it here at 25 degrees, so I bring it down here first and then I put the 25 and it's gonna put it there for me. So remember that when you're drawing.